Have you seen this new Dodge Colt? It's a little economy car with reclining bucket seats.
Now this is really interesting. It says Carl.
What in the world is that? I mean, they've never seen anything like it. Hey, it's Jason with Denwerks. Got something pretty cool today. It's a 1971 Dodge Colt. Really cool little car. Obviously built by Mitsubishi. They actually started building these, well, the Colt car in 1962 to 1971 in Japan. And then they got together with Dodge and brought these to the American market. Really cool car. So this is actually the first generation. It is a 1600. I think the first one's in 62 in Japan. I think there were, it's like 600, 800, 1,000, 1,100, and I think 12, 15, and then the 1,600 for the US market. So actually really cool car. I actually had this on Instagram, and I was showing the back of it to people. And I'm like, what is this? You know, with a big question mark. A lot of people thought it was a Datsun. You know, definitely very Japan looking with their influences and stuff. So we're going to do a video inside today. It's really stormy outside, but I think we can accomplish the same thing. This car was bought brand new in Fremont, California, out in the Bay Area. It's been one family owned all these years, and the gentleman that had it ended up giving it to his daughter, and she used it for community college, and, you know, drove it through the late 70s and 80s. You can see the community college there. And she ended up giving it back to him, and he ended up playing around with it in the late 1990s, and early 2000 it was given to his grandson, and him and the grandson worked on the car quite a bit in general. So a lot of work's been done to it. I've got a receipt book here that I can show you, but overall, really cool little car. Pretty rare, actually, so you'll be surprised you're not going to see these on the internet hardly at all. So we're going to show you the lights and everything working in here, do a startup and everything. So, hey Keegan, we'll go ahead and do the lights and everything, but I'm just going to go ahead and show you, you know, the paint is pretty fried. This was painted back in the 80s. You know, you'll see a lot of imperfections in it, little crazing here, little flaking, different little chips and stuff like that. You can see where it wasn't prepped correctly around the edge. You can see a little bit of flaking, but overall, you know, it looks good from, you know, 10, 15 feet away. Got a marker lights, headlights, bright lights, and we got turn signals left and right. So all those are working, which is really good. If you look down the side of it, it is actually fairly straight. You're gonna see some dings, some little waves, but nothing major on this side. You know, a bigger chip here, you know, just different things. There'll be a couple little rust bubbles. You know, if you want to fast forward in the video, you're going to be impressed at the undercarriage, because you're going to see a couple little bubbles, but the undercarriage is really nice. You can see some, you know, some of the chrome is crazing and lifting off a little bit. Bottom of the doors look really good. You can see some little chips and stuff again. You know, I can't point out every little thing, but if you see me pointing at something, I'm pointing at issues. You can see where the paint's flaked off around the door there. This actually had a vinyl top on it originally. This is kind of it is a two-door hard top. Go ahead and roll the windows down if you can reach them. It is a two-door hard top. They made a post version as well, but the two-door hard tops actually got more chrome trim. You can see the trim on the bottom, the trim here, chrome here. But this did have a vinyl top, and he went ahead and took it off because it was starting to look bad. And you'll see little imperfections off here, a little bit of glue. So if I was going to redo this car or paint it, again, one thing is it's not rusty up here, but you can see water spots and all that stuff. And you know, he didn't clean it perfectly because he wasn't trying to do body work on it. But I would probably paint the car one color, or you can put a vinyl top back on it, but I think it would look good one color, like I'm going to show you in the brochure. We'll go ahead and show you the bottom of the rocker. Looks good, and the quarter panels. I love the simulated vents here, very cool. A couple little bubbles down here at the bottom of this quarter panel. This was added. You know, that's not something that's factory. Around the rear window, looks good, no bubbles. Nothing around this window either. You know, it's funny when I look at the back tail lights and stuff on this, I think of like a 69 or something Coronet Super B or something like that. They kind of has that look. We'll go ahead and show you the lights. Sorry, I got a cold too. Got brake lights, tail lights, got blinkers. And we got reverse. And I think, I can't remember, license plate light works as well. So that's nice. It's got actually, it's kind of interesting, it's got stainless exhaust on it as well. I don't know if you can hear that rain, but it's just pouring outside. Go ahead and look down the side here. You know, again, actually fairly straight, little wavy in spots, but I don't think it's a Bondo machine or anything like that. It's just, you know, back in the day when this got painted, there was not a lot of value like it is today. So, you know, these cars were pretty much throwaway cars, just like a lot of Japanese stuff. And for this to survive is pretty amazing overall. You know, here, the paint is pretty bad. You know, a lot of little crazings and stuff. You can see this. You know, we tried to do a good job in photos, but it's hard. I think a video actually is much better showing you a lot of the imperfection. You see a little bit of haziness here. A couple little bubbles in the quarter here, but around the wheel lips, really nice. Bottom of the rocker and the door looks good as well. Nice thing is that this car, you can see little bubbles there, is actually really complete. You know, so if you had to find parts of this, it'd be really, really hard to find. So you can see here a crack in the paint and a small little dent right there. But overall, it looks good. And I'm going to go ahead and show you underneath the hood, interior. Hey, and if you want to check us out on Instagram, on Facebook, or our website, just type in hashtag Denwerks, DENWERKS. You can check out what we're doing, fresh stuff that we find, and stuff that we're going to put on Bring a Trailer. And then also, if you need help selling your vehicle, we do some consignments, but you're going to have to allow me to do a walk around like this and, you know, show you problems and the goods and the bad. So it's just the way we operate. So anyways, enough of me talking for now. I'm going to show you some more stuff. Hey, we're going to show you underneath the hood. There's actually a little lever underneath the hood, and there's a little latch right there. And I'm going to do a one-handed kind of thing here. And there is a little prop rod right there. So underneath the hood is actually pretty original overall. It does have a Weber card on it. I don't have the old one. I did online, I'm waiting for it. I do have an original air cleaner that will be included with the sale. So it'll have to be modified to accept that carburetor, but that is new. A lot of mechanical stuff has been done to this. It has new struts, new shocks, new brakes all the way around, tires, ball joints, and it also has, you can see here, it's got a new master cylinder slave cylinder, and that also has fairly new battery. This here, I think this was removed at one point. I don't know if it could be factory though, because it's cut very well. Sometimes people will do that if they're going to take a motor out, just to make it easier. It could be factory like that. I don't know, because it does overlap and I don't feel anything underneath. But here you can see original tags. You can see a VIN number. You know, inside, the nice thing here, it has not been hit, no damage inside, so actually really clean. That VIN number matches the VIN number here, and there was also one in the jam I'll show you later. So let's go ahead and start it up. You can hear it run. It actually starts pretty easy. You know, runs really smooth. Go ahead and rev it up a little bit. You can see they called their engines Saturn, but you'll notice there's a star in the middle there, so that is the original motor. Go ahead and rev it up back here. You know, it doesn't blow smoke or anything like that. You'll see just a little condensation there, but that was fairly pretty much a cold start. That's the way it starts usually when it's cold too. So rev it up one more time. Go ahead and rev it up one more. You know, the engine sounds real good. So we're gonna go ahead and show you some more stuff. Hey, we're gonna take a look at the interior real fast. I wanted to show you, look how nice the door's shut. Very nice. And you look at the panel gap, looks good. You know, the interior is fairly original. The only changes that have been is the seats were recovered by Grandpa, and he did a really nice job. I mean, they look really good. I think back when he did that, it was like right around 650 bucks. I have a receipt for it. Dash looks in really good shape, except this little center part here. You can see some little cracks there, and it's not actually the dash pad. It's just you can see it's actually in different sections. There's a section here above the glove box, and then right there in the center. Might be hard to find that piece, but you know, it is there. Steering wheel looks really good. You can see one little crack there, not on the actual steering wheel, but it's on the padding. Door panels are really nice, you know, for the age of this car. Little wear right there. You can see the door jamb looks good. You know, I'm unsure about this door. I think it's been replaced. You can see red underneath. This car was originally this color. I mean, it was a yellow color, orange, but you can see some flaking there. If they did do that, they moved this this tag, but it doesn't look like it was moved. So, but you'll see the paint there. Gaskets actually look fairly good. One thing that's interesting though about this red paint that I show you on that door, you can see it right here too. So I don't know if underneath this car was originally red. If I'm looking at, you know, it doesn't look like a primer, but maybe from the factory they painted it red, then they painted it yellow. I don't know. I just see the red there, but we'll look on the other side. It does have new carpet, and it does have new floor mats. You can see the carpet is really nice. The pedals look really good. They're not all worn or anything like that. You know, I was told it's got 59,000 miles on it. I don't have any documentation on it, but it could be. I mean, hardly any scuff on here. A lot of the panels are nice. You know, it was never a trailer queen or anything like that. So it's actually in really good shape. You know, and I don't think it was garaged its whole life either. So okay, take a look at the other side real fast. The dome light works, but it doesn't work when you open that door. take a look at this side real fast. If you look up here, it does have a dome light. Headliner looks really good too. You know, that's the one thing about a car like this, is being so original. You know, a lot of these parts have not been replaced because where are you going to get them? You know, you look at this jam here, looks really nice, no accident damage. If you look inside here as well, you know, I don't see any red paint in here, and that's original underneath here. So it's just weird that quarter panel has that same red on it as well. So you can see some paint flaking off right there. One thing you'll notice too is it will need new window felts, and I think you could use some window felts off of another car actually, because that looks pretty standard in a lot of you know, Fords and Mopars and stuff like that. So I think you could actually have some built for that. So anyways, hopefully that gives you a good look at the interior. I'm not going to be able to show you the gauges and stuff working. They actually do work, but you know, actually driving and stuff, the odometer does work, and the speedometer. But yeah, maybe I'll sit in here. Horn works. Just started it up. You can see the fuel gauge is starting to move. It's cold, so the temperature's not working right now. Blinkers. The door light works when that other door is open, because it's not working on this side. And the radio, you can just hear static. And when I'm moving this, it's not moving the channel. You know, the radio wants to work, but this dial isn't allowing it to. But when you hit the buttons, it moves. But something's not working here. But the radio works. You just heard the music. I just can't make it go on station. The heater. Let's double check here. I don't think you can hear that. The fan's on. This is the heat. And then colder, but it's not AC. So, and then that shifts the air down to the floor, and then that's the defrost. So it's nice, everything seems to be working there. Cigarette lighter isn't working right now. So anyways, it's actually running right now. And flip the lights on. You see the lights are really bright in there, and you can see the parking light is working there on the shifter. So hopefully that gives you just a little bit more information in general. So I'll show you some more stuff. Hey, just wanted to show you a little bit of the paperwork. Here's an original brochure. Same car right on the cover. Two-door hardtop, and here's all the models they started making. You know, in 71, there wasn't a lot of 71s in general because they came late to market in 71. But there's the hardtop. You can see it's got more chrome and everything than the base model post car. So pretty neat little car. One thing I did notice, see that little Pentastar right there below the emblem? It is actually missing on this one here. Whether it got it from the factory, I don't know. It's probably installed them when they came over here, but it's missing on the car. But pretty neat to have an old brochure, owner's manuals, a couple ads. These all have been laminated, by the way. You can see here. This is the original window sticker. Brand new, it was $25.22. No trade-in or anything like that, and a whopping payment of $66.88. It was bought new on 7/10/1971 from Fremont Dodge. So pretty cool to have the original sales contract. This is color codes that you'll see here, and then Also, we got original service manual and a Haynes manual. But right inside here, the grandson actually built this. And I'm talking, I make it sound like the grandson's like 16. He's in his late 30s. So, and he likes cars in general. He had a pretty cool Z06, but he uses AMSOIL. You can see his list here of all the AMSOIL and stuff that he used. Valve clearances and stuff like that, point gap, timing. And he put AMSOIL, antifreeze, brake fluid. We did all the brakes and everything, but this is a list of all the work that he had did to it back in 2013. It had 59,673, and he has not driven it very much since then. Brake master, wheel cylinders, sending unit, struts, tires, and everything like that. And here's a list of all the receipts. So kind of nice to have this information and care for this vehicle. So they really like the car in general. So, and I was happy to get it. It's funny because he lives right down the street from me, and I'd never seen it before. So it was pretty cool to meet him. So anyways, we'll show you some more stuff. Hey, we're going to take a look at the little Colt underneath. You're going to see it's actually really solid. I'm actually pretty impressed with it down here. So we'll just start from the front to the back. And, this is actually the second thing I look at when I look at a classic car in general. Everything can look really pretty on the outside, but, hop underneath, take a look at the structure. I want to make sure there's no damage, any rust problems or anything like that. But this one is, even though the paint isn't as good and you see little bubbles and stuff on the paint, actually it's very solid underneath here. So very impressed. You can see here across the front, no accident damage at all. I took the wheels off so you could see up inside the wheel wells up there in the shock mounts. Really clean actually underneath here, and this up here below the cowl, it's not rusty. It looks really nice. Tires are 165/80 13s, and they're these are date code 2015, and the rears are 2015. These came factory with disc brakes, and I also took off the wheels, so inspected the brakes so you could see them. You can see it's got new bushings up here. It does have new ball joints, new struts, and new shocks in the back. He did a lot of work to this car in general. Brake lines look good. You can see the ball joint there. So I haven't really seen any issues here. He's running all AMSOIL in it as well. AMSOIL transmission fluid, rear end fluid, brake fluid, and antifreeze. I don't know if I already mentioned that, but AMSOIL's a good product for sure. Transmission's obviously been serviced. If you look back here at the bottom of the cowl, again, it looks really good for one of these cars. Look up here at the mount. Everything looks very good. There's that rust you can see underneath the fender there. Rockers look good. Again, not rusty. Look at the floors on this thing. Really nice shape. Look behind the rocker. You see surface rust there, but this car is really solid. Not a lot of these cars survived like this one at all. So super hard to find, especially a first generation US built car. Again, look at the floors. Frame rails look really good. Brand new stainless. It's stainless, actually, exhaust. It runs all the way back. You also notice some new suspension parts up here. Tie rod at end, center link. The tie rod. New shocks in the rear. Frame rails, again, very, very nice. The trunk drop-offs. Back here, it hasn't been hit in the back. Very, very clean overall. So this car is actually a total survivor, you know, even though it's been painted and some upgrades, but you're just not going to find something like this. So pretty impressive overall. If you got questions, please ask. We'd be glad to help. You can make comments, give us a jingle. This is no reserve, and hopefully that gives you a good look underneath. Have a great day.